problem.
Our first question will come from Steve Jewin. Your line is live.
Thank
Hey,
you, Mr.
Steve.
Kapel, and thank you for the time. I want to ask you how you're feeling with almost a year gone by now since you were the man to retire King Mo, how that's sitting with you now, knowing that you took him out of MMA.
Well, I don't know if I took him out. He kind of took himself out. I think he had another fight on his contract left, and he wanted to go out with a W. I kind of spoiled that plan, but I have a massive amount of respect for him, and yeah, it's in the past now. It feels like a very, very long time ago. So I'm sure he's being very successful with it. He chooses to pursue, just like he did with MMA. So hope he's doing well with wrestling, and yeah, that's basically it.
Speaking of playing spoiler, though, you've got John Salter coming up, and he's a guy who always seems to be in the hunt for a title shot, never quite getting there. Do you look forward to spoiling his plans as well?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the game, right? And going in to win. Yeah, I think he's criminally underrated. I think he got screwed on a title shot from this. I don't know if it's because of the holdup. I feel like he should be fighting for the title, but I don't know if he just looked at me as an easy win or how I was pitched to him. But yeah, I think it was a mistake on his part, but I'll capitalize just like I did before. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think he's a very tough opponent, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Speaking of underrated, I think people might be sleeping on the fact that even though you finished King Mo, you've got a lot of submissions on your record, and submissions are Salter's specialty. So do you see this becoming like a human chess match?
Not if I have my way. You know, I think it was a really good blueprint to watch Costello fight, the same card we fought on. I have a very refined and dangerous striking game. If I have the opportunity, yeah, I'll take the submission, but I think more likely the finish would be TKO from my side. I'm definitely not afraid to grapple. I think he has a pretty clear route to victory for what his game plan is, and I have a few more options. But yeah, I think it'll be a fireworks. It'll be an exciting fight. So he's going to come to win, and I'm doing the same. So I think style-wise, it'll be a nice matchup.
All right, Mr. Capello, we look forward to that on Friday, and hopefully everybody will know how to say your name after that fight.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Our next question goes to Connor Northrop.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Connor?
Good. Yeah, just kind of going off that last two, like you said, he's kind of in the mix, for that title. So where do you feel like a win over him puts you in that division?
I take one fight at a time. So I don't really look at, I mean, everything's kind of in the air right now with people being able to travel or who they're putting on or in what country. So honestly, my focus is complete tunnel vision on John Salter. So I only have a couple more days to visualize and focus on it and put all my energy into that. And then once the smoke clears, then we can talk about what's next. I'm like a one step at a time kind of dude. So yeah, it's exciting to be jumping right into the deep end of the pool and proving that I can swim. Yeah, it's just nice to be vindicated. And, there's a lot of people who don't know who I am. And they think that the Mo fight was a fluke. And I'm just looking forward to silencing those doubters. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to have that narrative when I put their top contender out. So.
Yeah. And just, going off of, your last fight, obviously that was your Bellator debut over, a well-known name like King Mo. And, Salter, I think, has a name to his own as well. But there's this one besides the current pandemic situation. How much differently does this one feel kind of the lead up to it?
Well, I feel like a lot has happened since my last fight. It's been almost a year. I've had a pretty big personal transformation. I won't have time to get into here, but the training was kind of changed. We had smaller groups and everything, and I was focusing on just like running hills and doing personal work in the garage in the bag for a little while, and I went on a road trip, and it's been a really powerfully transformative time right now, and it's an exciting time to be alive. So yeah, I don't know. I forgot what the question was. What was the question?
Just how much different do you feel from that debut up to this point?
Oh yeah, I don't know. In a lot of ways, I feel personally a lot different. I think fight skill wise, I'm always better every time I'm training, every time I'm trying to improve, every time I'm working on something. I feel like I'm always improving, but I think I had my biggest transformation training wise and skill wise once I moved to Colorado. A lot different mind state changed and a lot of new people around me, and I think that really made my growth exponentially happen. But then there was also, a lot of base to pull from too, from all my training partners and coaches in Minneapolis. That was where I gained the bulk of my skill set, but I kind of have refined it since I've been in Denver. And I'm kind of old. I'm at the end of my, career realistically. So I'm just kind of finally in the big show and going to make hay when the sun shines. So in some ways it feels a lot different. I feel like every fight is the biggest fight of my life. So I treat it that way.
Our next question comes from Carlos Ortiz. Your line is live.
How do you think fighting with no audience is going to affect you?
I'm looking forward to it, Carlos. I don't know. The bulk of my career, I've fought with almost no audience or like a very minimal amount of people where I can hear my coaches clearly and all that. So that's been something I'm familiar with. It doesn't really matter because a lot of times actually the opponent I was facing was the hometown person. And so anything they did, they got cheered really loud. And when I was winning or dominating, it was silent. So the silence is something I welcome. And I don't think it really affects me either way, to be honest. But yeah, I think if anything, it'll be a positive.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers. Thanks.
Our next question comes from Jay Anderson.
Andrew, you call this an exciting time to be alive, which I'm not sure everyone would necessarily agree with, but is keeping that sort of positive outlook important to you in the fight game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important just how to live your life, growth mindset over fixed. And everything's in how you interpret it. And I choose to interpret things positively, and positive things manifest in my life. So yeah, everyone's got their own dark night of the soul to get through. And I feel like I'm on the other side of it and just keep working toward, keep climbing. That's what I'm thinking.
Not going to lie, the age comment was kind of a dagger to the heart because I'm older than you, but how long do you see yourself continuing on, and have you thought about what you would want to do after your career?
Yeah, of course, those thoughts come into your head. I don't think I have too many years left in this game. Touch wood. I've been fortunate not to have any major injuries or KOs or anything like that. And I feel like I'm still in my prime. But yeah, of course, martial arts will be a part of my life for the rest of my life. Like I really enjoy teaching, or at least, doing jujitsu for the rest of my life for sure. I really don't know how it's all going to play out in that realm. I'm just focused on, like I said before, one day at a time and one step at a time. So right now the goal is to make prize fighting count, and then to do as much as I can with that.
Knowing that you might not have a lot of...
Next question comes from Kevin Shajan.
Hey Andrew, how we doing?
Hey,
One
great.
question we have is, you said you're a man of one step at a time. Do you currently know how many steps it would be for you to get to the light heavyweight? The middleweight championship.
Man, I don't think anyone really knows what's going on with the with like the title picture. It's kind of a mess right now with Lovato leaving. It was never really something that was in my goal, in my crosshairs. If that opportunity presents itself, if I'm in that position, then of course that's what I want to fight the best. So the best would be the champion. I think Mousasi is one of the best fighters at middleweight to ever live. I think I've been a huge fan of his since a very long time. I think Salter's up there. I think, Lovato was quite a scary cat. There's some other sleepers in there, like Tokov is really dangerous. Well, I used to be scouting a lot more of the middleweights, but when I get like one opponent, I focus on that one opponent. So yeah, I think there's a lot of good fighters that would be legitimate contenders for the title. It's not really my place to say that. I think my job is just to go in there and perform against the opponent that I'm contracted for. So I hate to keep saying that, but that's really all I care about right now is the next guy. That's all I'm focused on.
All right, Andrew. Best of luck.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
take one more question from Dimitri Kagan. Your line is live.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Dimitri.
So, quick question. Having said that, your next contracted opponent is John. Do you think you're a better grappler than him? And do you see, or what holes do you see in his game that you plan to take advantage of? I know you're not going to give away your game plan, but where would you like to take the fight, and where would be your realm?
On the feet, obviously, is where I hold the most cards. No, I don't think. I think he's probably in a grappling match. He'd sub me for sure. Well, maybe not for sure, but it's not a grappling match. It's a fight, and yeah, I think his strengths are obvious. Like he's submitted all his opponents except his loss. Maybe he has except his last fight. It was a decision, but yeah, it's a fight. It's a 3-round MMA fight. There's a lot more involved than just jiu-jitsu. So I plan to make that apparent, and yeah, you guys will get to see a lot of an exciting fight for sure.
Do you think he has the wrestling ability to take it where he needs it, or do you think you have the defense to keep it standing in your realm?
I think it'll be a bit of both, to be honest. I think I'm going to be making him make bad shots, and then that'll get him tired. But and I mean, he'll probably get me down at least once or twice. Like I won't be surprised when that happens. I think the key is not getting to bad position when he does get me down. Winning if he gets me down. You never know how a fight can go. I could KO him straight away, or who knows? He could take me down and break my shoulder or something. You never know how the fight game can go. You just visualize all different circumstances and you prepare accordingly, and you do everything you can to control what you can control, and then you surrender the outcome, and then whatever happens is you know, the result of the cosmos.
We'll do one last question with Matthew Putterman. Your line is live.
Hi, Matthew.
Andrew, my first question is for you. You know, what motivates you more, coming off a loss? Hello?
Sorry, Matthew, I missed that.
What motivates you more, coming off of a win or coming off of a loss?
Well, I guess neither really. I suppose I haven't had a loss for quite a while, and the losses I was suffering earlier in my career were due to a lot of different factors. My mind state predominantly, and my approach to fighting specifically were the main ones. I don't believe it was so much of a lack of skill. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 17 years old. So I think a lot of different things kind of have come together the past few years. I've been winning since then. And like I said, what you surrender the outcome, then whatever happens, happens, and you won't have any regret if you do everything you're supposed to leading up to the fight. And that's where I've been at. So I don't know, man. I haven't lost for a while. And my losses I have suffered have feel like a very, very long time ago, and I was a much different person. But that being said, you know, it's MMA and anything can happen, and I'm comfortable with that. So I'm just really excited to finally do what I do. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kapel. We'll be back with Valentin Moldavsky.